Wait, I only see one of the churches.
The banners.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There you go.
All right, there we go. Just waiting for people to come in now.
Hey, hey, hey. Did you make sure it was Clubhouse?
Oh fuck!
I'm like,
Whole
I'm on your channel.
time,
Shit.
whole time though. I'm sitting there. Ooh, girl, don't. We gonna keep that between us, all right?
I got you. I got you. Ooh, he dropping shit. What's that?
Hey, what's going on? You
Hey, people. Hey, D Light Bill. Y'all play too good.
Hey,
Hey,
Keish.
baby, the brown door up next. Yes, on that channel, baby. We have a live interview with Sean Bradley's Ain't It? Hey, Keisha. What's
What's
up,
going on?
Keisha Bushes? Hold on, let me show you live right quick.
How is everybody's afternoon, evenings?
I've been doing real good today. I found out a lot of information.
Oh yeah, you already know. There's an
So,
echo. Yeah, we've been trying to work on that. What we're going to do, like I said, this is just a pre-show. Um, we just gonna come on here for a couple of minutes, let everybody know that um Goddess will be premiering the Brown Door segment. Tell a friend and tell a friend and make sure their friend tell a friend.
okay. I'm going to let Madam talk, y'all, because I don't like the echo either. So I'm going to let her say everything because I'll be coming up next. Y'all can hear from me at 6.
Okay,
Take it
so
away,
basically
Madam.
yeah, so basically we this is like the pre-show to the actual live that's going to be going down, which is the Brown Door. The Brown Door is a new segment that Goddess came up with. Um it's going to be random. It's going it's Yes, it's going. Yes, Keisha, it's going to be on Goddess's channel. It is going to be on Goddess's channel. So please make sure that your notifications is up for everybody. Um, I wanted to get on here and talk real quickly about the Lonnie Love situation.
Hmm.
She kind of felt as though you know all black men cheat, or most black men cheat because they were introduced to slavery, and during slavery it was families were separated. So what is your thoughts on that?
So my problem with the Lonnie Love situation is Lonnie Love went out there and connected all black men cheating to slavery. And I'm like, how you go from all black men cheat and then try to throw slavery in there? And what she said was the reason she said that was because that's what broke homes up and stuff like that. But my problem with that situation is all black men don't cheat. And I am a witness to that. Like, I refuse to let somebody come and just doo doo all over black men because the black men you've dated, you know what I'm saying, probably have cheated on you. Now, first off, all men cheat. That's first off. Second, if a man don't want you or plan on seeing you as his wife, or you know what I'm saying, long term, why would you expect him to be loyal to you? And that go for women too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot in the 2020 or era, it's more so that people not keeping it real with each other. And that's the problem that I have. If you don't want to be with somebody, then don't be with them. If you just want to date them, just date them. If it's just on the surface, keep it as that. You know what I'm saying? We can't have people out here dating for 2 weeks or so called dating when you don't even know a person like that yet. You know what I'm saying? Stalking. It's a difference.
Right.
You have to draw lines.
Right, and I just feel like she fails to realize, because Lonnie Love is currently dating a Caucasian male, a Caucasoid male. You date who you want to date, you love who you love, but at the same token, she is with a person's whose very descendants made it their business to break up homes during slavery that owned most of the slaves. Um, but yet her reasoning for it when she first started off was mainly, okay, so black men, they think that they okay with they because they got money and they have power and this and that and things of that nature. Even if that is true, then you got to understand that's a taught.
Mhm.
That's taught. That's not
Mhm.
instilled in them. That is a taught behavior. And
Mhm.
again, it goes back to slavery. Again, it goes back to Jim Crow.
But can we be honest real quick?
Mm.
Lonnie is upset because what no black men checking for her. Let's just be honest. Okay. She came off real bitter and when she was talking about it. And even when Adrian tried to cut her off and interject and say all men, she was like, no, no, black men. I'm like, girl, they are cheating everywhere. What does it like? Why are you pinning that just on black men? All you're doing is pushing the same stereotype and what the media is already pushing. It's always what black people do is pushed to the forefront. Just like how I brought up the example with the little girl that was like, "Oh yeah, catch me outside." If that was a little black girl doing that, which little black girls are out here doing this every single day, you don't see none of them come becoming millionaires overnight. But because she's not black, but sat up there and portrayed a black girl or what their image of a black girl, she became a millionaire. I don't like
Right.
stuff like that. And then Lonnie always do stuff or she'll say something while you sitting up here with this cracker. Does he really want you or did you settle for him? Because no black men are checking for you. Go ahead, madam.
Yeah, and like my whole thing is, if you also want to look at it too, in early 2000, what was that, 18 or 19? It was this little young girl that was like 10 years old, and she little Tay Tay. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
remember her, little Tay Tay? So
Mm-hmm.
the little young bitch got on there and was acting black. I guess she was appropriating black culture. um she was the one, the little girl that was saying, "Oh, I got more money than you. I got your whole year's worth of rent in my hand, this, that, and the third, etc., etc." Coming to find out, her mother was allowing her to do that. Like I
Right.
said, it's taught behavior. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's a taught
Mm-hmm.
behavior. It's not something that a person is born with. It's not something that a person can just, come to a understanding one day and be like, "Hey, this is what it is." That's just like Megan Kelly saying Santa Claus and Jesus is just white because they just are. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's a taught behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really detrimental behavior to our community, because no one is going to really stand up and say, "Well, this is not right. You're perpetuating a stereotype that's not viable to the community, that won't help in the long run." It's basically them just saying, "Oh, okay, well, all right, since y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna say nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
gonna keep doing this shit." Like, a person can only do to you what you allow them to,
Yep.
you know? So,
But don't connect it to slavery. And one thing we're not about to do is sit up here and say all black men cheat because I know for a fact mine don't. And I can go to sleep comfortably, wake up comfortably. He could not call me for 8 whole hours, and I know that he ain't doing nothing. And that's a fact. Okay, I don't feel no type of way. I'm not thinking about 100 women he could be calling. And then that's the thing too. Sometimes you just need to know your worth. If a man is out there doing all of that, eventually it's gonna come to the light. Eventually. And if your wands is not tingling and you don't feel, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know women's intuition. So
yeah, and
like we can't keep putting it just on men because at the end of the day, if we really gonna be honest about it, if a lot of y'all stop giving it up so easy and spreading it wide and dropping it low for $50 or for a dime bag, or because a man got a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just maybe they'll start respecting women a little more and won't want to cheat because they know that you're not going for that. If majority of women say, you know what, I'm gonna keep my cookies to myself because y'all disrespecting us and clearly y'all ain't gonna get it until we don't get y'all nothing. I can guarantee you it'll be way more men out here that do not cheat on you. But because you let it go and you think it's okay and cool, or that's just a man, that's your fault. She need to accept responsibility for her. Don't speak for all men because you're not putting that on mine. And stop trying to speak
right.
for like women. You are on there for comedic relief, which you're doing a horrible job at.
Trash.
Just as I thought, trash.
Yeah, and like I said, it's
Relax.
yeah, and this basically, it goes back to what I said. We all have someone in our family that has this train of thought where they teach young girls, oh, you got to use what you got to get what you want, or don't let a man do this and do that unless they willing to pay you and this that and the third. But they never really teach the girl to be self-sufficient. They don't teach, what I'm saying, the boy that it's not always boys will be boys. Sometimes it's okay to cry. Sometimes it's okay to display your emotions and not have that look and not be looked upon as weak or timid. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just a thing where nowadays in this generation, it's a lot of, oh, I'm gonna do what I want without any, exactly, the Fad mentality, exactly. And it's a lot of adults out here that's not taking the responsibility. It's a lot of adults out here to let their TV and their electronic devices raise their kids. There's a lot of adults out here that choose to be their kids' friends. uh Donald Trump. Oh, we don't deal with
Girl,
that.
we ain't
We
going for
don't
the
deal with him,
commentary. They don't need deserve it.
girl.
Don't worry.
Anyway, um, it's people that set the standard, but then yet they can complain about, oh, it don't make no sense that they like this or this, that, and the third. Where we all know that it takes a village, because naturally we're community based people in our culture.
But look at this too,
Um,
madam.
mm,
Also, realize how we also grow up differently too. When we growing up as little girls, we see Jasmine, we see all these princesses getting wooed,
mm-hmm,
love.
right.
They just running behind her and trying to show love and affection. While on the other end, that's not what the boys are being taught. The boys are being taught, ooh, titties, ooh, butt, ooh, how many can I get? How many did you hit? Good job. So that's also a difference in the difference in mentality, because they're not being taught or shown the same things as we're being taught and shown. We end up growing up green thinking this is what it's going to be like. And it's like, no, not at all. It's far from it. And then we have to sit there and start, it becomes a learning process. You know what I'm saying? Because then it turns into, oh, okay, so this was all a facade. Now you got to really learn what they going to treat you like, how they going to treat you, because I can guarantee you they are not looking towards your personality when they first meet you. They're
Of
looking at
course,
all outer.
of course. I think it was very vital. Matter of fact, while we talking, I'm gonna pull up this poet. Beyonce actually put her out there. Um, and her poems, if you've never read her poems, y'all should really go check it out. But I'm about to pull this up real quick. But what I wanted to touch on was um the type of, it's definitely a difference growing up in a household where you have the family unit versus you growing up in a household that doesn't have the family unit. But make no mistake about it, just because you grew up in a certain situation in certain circumstances does not by any means, and I say this, does not by any means mean that that's what you're destined to
Not
become.
at all.
You know, so I mean, a lot of people use that as an excuse readily, like, oh, well, I grew up in the projects, and I attended, my family life wasn't good, and I had an uncle that sold drugs, I had an auntie that prostitute and sold drugs, I had. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's your life. You have the power to change it. You are the narrator of your own story.
Girl,
And
do you know how
you
many generational, what they call quote unquote, you know how they say your family repeats generations until certain things are learned or changed. Like I done broke so many because I grew up seeing what I did not want to be. Like I grew up saying, this is what she's doing. I don't like that. This is how she's being treated. I don't like that. Oh, y'all don't like learning in school? Well, I'm gonna learn. I'm still. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Be funny and be stupid because y'all find it lame. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the Gemini in me. But I always was like, if I see something, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Or even in the household, my mom being on drugs made me not want to be on drugs, not touch it, because bitch, I was like, whatever. And not just my mom, but seeing other people too. When you see that, it's like, I don't, in my head, I was like, I don't want to be nothing like this. I want to be the total opposite of this. Because if
right,
it can make you do that, and lack so much as a mother, and lack so much, and just not respect yourself in the process, and just give up on life like that, I don't want it. I'm good. You can have it. So, and I was like that with that. I was like that in school. I was like that pretty much my whole life, because it's like at a certain point in time you got to try to reverse it. At a certain point in time, somebody got to step up, because I'm the oldest and I have five brothers and sisters, and they are all younger than me by years. My little sister just went to college, what, last year? So if she gonna have somebody in her life to look up to, it's gonna be me. And I appreciate it because they grow up thanking me, because they're like, we understand what you had to go through, because we had to see some of it, but we appreciate you because I was the one stepping in. You know what I'm saying? And doing the things that my mom was lacking at the time. And I'm just pinpointing and touching on what you were saying, madam. But you do not have to be what you see. You can choose to be the opposite of and be better.
right. You're not a you don't have to be a product of your surroundings and your environment.
So don't.
We all know that Lonnie Love and a lot of other people put put in this category as mammy roles. As far as Love is concerned, and this is just my personal opinion, she's a bed wench. She's a coon. She caters to the fucking white people that signs her checks. If she's on that show for comedic relief, um, the show ain't really been hot like that since you know who was on there.
But I never thought Lonnie was
You know,
funny
so
anyway. And to be honest, I didn't even know who Lonnie was until she was on the real. And even when she was on the real, her jokes were not funny. Like, girl, I see why you got no gigs. You're not funny. And that's just the truth.
right, she's not funny. I mean, that's why she hasn't propelled to the standard of, as they say. If I had to use comedians that's females, Andel or Monique or Samore, or even though they're not like mainstream. I mean, they are kind of mainstream, but they're not like mainstream like Hollywood or whatever the case is. But they're widely known and accepted and admired for their comedian talents. Lonnie Love really doesn't possess that. She just basically comes off to be as an angry, bitter
Bitter.
woman.
Very bitter.
Bitter, um, hateful. Um, and as Cat Williams said, um, all men don't cheat and all men ain't shit. It's the niggas that you choose to fuck with
Mm-hmm. Because I
and
can
lay
guarantee
down
you,
with.
when my husband knew he had a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
Right. And I've been with my husband for like almost, might as well say damn near 15 years. And the thing about that, if a man is going to cheat, they going to do it. And it's not necessarily because of anything that you done wrong, and
yep.
it's not necessarily anything that you um
Sometimes it don't have
that
nothing
could have.
to do at all.
Right. You could be the perfect motherfucker, but they not looking for that.
Sometimes, have y'all
You
heard
know?
the phrase when people say, you can't be in a relationship if you don't even love yourself? If you can't get to know who you are, what sets you off, what pisses you off, what you like, what you don't like, what you'll put up with, what you won't put up with. Do you know how many stories I done heard of girls saying, "Ooh, I don't like him because he farted." Like, if y'all living together, you're gonna hear something eventually, okay? Like stuff on the surface like that.
Right.
That means you're not even ready for a relationship. Because if little stuff like that is something that's a pet peeve of yours and y'all living in the same house, it makes no sense. Or, oh, I don't like how he chews. Girl, that's your pet peeve. That's what you mad at. But he makes sure he doing everything possible to make you feel good. He respectful. Your parents like him. He take you out. He do stuff. Show you he love you. And then you mad because of how he chew. How that sound?
Right. And then, another thing that I wanted to bring up as well, as far as that, because you brought that up, was a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of females say, "Oh, I can't really fuck with him because he too nice." And like I'll use like a personal experience of mine's, dealing with family members. I have a cousin, and she had this one dude, and I mean, she was going through it. She had got locked up. She was on the verge of losing her house and everything. And it was this guy that she used to work with. They were co-workers, but he really liked her. Needless to say, this boy went above and beyond.
Mm.
But she wound up just using him. She didn't like him. And I said, "Well, why did you do that to him? Why did you lead him on like that?" She was like, "Well, I don't like soft, square boys. I like hard boys. So you like niggas that beat on you, disrespectful,
You wanna
cheat
know
on
what's
you.
funny?
That's crazy. That's
Let me tell
crazy
you
to
something
me."
funny. Now that you said that, and this is gonna be real quick. But when I met my husband, like when we first met, like and he first was trying to talk to me, girl, one of the questions I said, are you a drug dealer? Cause I don't do those. Like I ain't mean no harm by it. But once you learn so much or done been with people and you know what you don't want, girl, you just gotta come out and say it. Look, listen, ain't got time for the games, okay? I need to know A, B, C, D, and E. Then we
Right.
can decide if we about to switch, numbers, or we gonna get to know each other. Just flat out. And honestly, for men too, I think if they say, I'm not really looking for love or nothing, I'm just, like how Pyro did, it should be well received. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
If
it
Pyro
goes
said
both
he was,
ways.
out here swinging and banging, then you should expect exactly what you got and not hit up all his family members. That's not how this
Hmm. Right. And that, like I said, it goes both ways, because You got dudes out here. They want the baddest bitches. They want the ones with, the snatch waist and the nice rack and the nice cheeks and shit like that for them to, the bump and grind on that night. But the bitch ain't worth shit because all she wanted is your money. Like, bitch, if
Hmm.
you didn't have that money, she wouldn't be there. Real talk.
Girl, that's a lot of
She wouldn't be
celebrities.
there. She would not be there. She would dip out on your ass faster than motherfucking Trump dipped out on his motherfucking promise he made when he was running for president.
Hmm.
His pullout game gonna be strong. I mean, her pullout game gonna be strong as shit. For
Hmm.
real.
I'm telling you, let that money dry up and see if they still be there. But then again, see, it could go so many ways because, like, it's a lot of y'all out, a lot of guys out here throwing their money out there to even get the girl in the first place, and then get mad when they attract the girl that only want their money. It's ridiculous. Like, ain't nobody got time. You send the signals out here. You put out what you want, and then you get mad when you get what you was going for in the first place. You can't say, "Hey, come with me. I got this money." Then get mad because she a gold digger. You gotta actually want a relationship. You can't be with somebody for 2 weeks and claim you in a relationship. That ain't no relationship. Y'all
Right.
getting to know each other.
Right, exactly.
You get
I
mad
mean,
if you don't like in somebody's shoes. Shoes? Drake? Shoes? Man, get out of here.
yeah, and it's like the most minute reading, but then they all messed up in the head because after everything is said and done, they was like, "Well, damn, I broke up with this good person, or I stopped talking to this person, and then I got this other person that treat me like shit." It's the person that you choose. Understand? Like I said earlier, you are the narrator of your life. You write your own stories
Right.
in your life. Nobody else can write your story but you. True, there are some circumstances in life where we all have no power and no control over. But understand, for the most part, you are the key to your future, your legacy, whatever you want that to be. Whatever you want that to be, you are the key to that. And like the piggyback on what the original topic was, which was Lonnie Love, she's not accounting for all the things that we just talked about as far as like a relationship. And you can see that in a general way, or you can see that as in a black relationship or a
And,
interracial
and
relationship.
we don't know how she acts.
Right.
She probably, you know how many people I done met who probably look cute but have the worst attitudes ever, or don't have no personality. You know how many cute women I sat around and have zero personality? And you be like, dang, is it a light bulb on? Is it anything going on in your brain? Is it just air, bitch? Poof. Like what's really good? And then I've met some who are ugly, or let me not say ugly, who are not attractive in my eyesight. And then also have nasty attitudes. You can't not be attractive and have a nasty attitude. That's ridiculous.
Right. And there was also a panel done about what Lonnie Love said. I forgot the gentleman's name, but what is her name? Daytime Tea Time. Shout out to Daytime Tea Time. Um, some of y'all may know who I'm talking about, but Daytime Tea Time did an excellent video on hey Chupacabra. She did an excellent video on the Lonnie Love, the same situation that I'm talking about as far as Lonnie Love. And it was a group of gentlemen that did a panel and actually Willie D of the Ghetto Boys was actually on that panel, but it was another guy on the panel that just basically said, and I think he just said that because he was trying to take a low blow to her. He said the reason why black men don't want to date Lonnie Love is because she has a disgusting attitude and her body is nasty. And I summed it up as, him just, taking a low blow at her. But he did have a point when he said she's not counting in the fact that, hey, you're sleeping with a whole white man, and these are the motherfuckers, his ancestors are the same motherfuckers that put us in bondage.
The same slavery you talking about.
The same shit you talking about, slavery and black families being separated and shit like that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand. People do not understand that shit goes way deep. Like, January 1st, slaves dreaded January 1st for a reason. And you got to go all the way back in slavery to find that out. She's not talking about that, how they separated it, the families, and how they put the darker melanated, more melanated slaves against the more lighter melanated slaves. She's not talking about that. She's not talking about Jim
Like
Crow.
the paper bag,
Experiment, the blue eyes, brown eyes experiment. Um, she's not talking about all of that. You know what I'm saying? She's just like, oh, I just think all black men because they have money and this, that, and the third. Well, that's the old saying. If you a fool without money, you gonna be a fool with money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, denying.
Right.
That's because they are too busy looking for gold diggers instead of gold diggers. Right. And sometimes it just don't even have anything to do with money. And honestly, it really don't always have anything to do with looks. How many women that you, in your eyes, or that you walk past every day, be like, "Oh, she is unattractive, but she got 4, 5 kids."
Right. Or how many times have you been around a person, a family member, or an acquaintance of the family, and you be like, yo, she's ugly as fuck. Like,
Mhm.
but she got this nigga, he fine as shit. He do
Mhm.
anything for her. He take care of her kids. She hold
And
it
you
down.
just can't figure out why.
Honey, you can't, love cannot survive off of looks and pretty lingerie and whatever the fuck you got. You got to be able to reach that man. And when I say reach that man, you have to
We
be
ain't
able to
talking
reach
food.
him, reach his soul. Okay?
Mhm. And we are not talking food.
I mean, pussy gets old. You know what I'm saying? Like, pussy gets old, dick gets old. Like, it's only so many ways that you can fuck a person
I'm
before
sorry.
you be like,
Deanna.
I apologize, but I mean, for real, you got to have something more. Deanna, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. God of Snow too. You got to have something that's going to hold him to where as though he was like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to ensure that you and our family and our children are safe and secure. That
Mhm.
you don't have to want for nothing. That even if he ain't the most all around perfect of guys, because everybody got flaws. Everybody got flaws, and
Mhm.
everybody ain't perfect.
Mhm.
It's how they treat you, but don't settle for nothing.
Mhm.
That's where the problem comes in. You gotta settle for not you. If you settle for, if you settle for anything, you'll fall for anything.
Not just that. Let me tell you something. When you really meet your best friend, like, I ain't talking though on the surface. I'm talking about y'all could sit up all night for hours, talk and tell the same stories over and over and over again, year after year, and you still listen to it like it's the first time you heard it. And y'all up to 3, 4 in the morning on the weekends, just having fun. You know what I'm saying? That's a feeling that a lot of people don't even understand. That's why a lot of these relationships are failing, because you cannot be stuck on those shoes or the way somebody eat, or if they farted when he been living with you for 6 months. Like, is that what we doing? This is why you can't go deeper, because you stuck on stuff that ain't even important. What's important is, hey, like for example, I was at work one day and I just had an epiphany, and I text my husband and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to college. And he told me to this day, because he was like, what? No, you just randomly about to say you going back to college. Like, I was ready to quit. I quit my job that day. I sat at my desk at work because my manager loved me to pieces. And I sat at work and I filled out my college application, gave everybody a hug, and I rolled out. And initially, my husband was upset because he was like, wait, you just randomly about to roll out? You know what I'm saying? But later on, by the time I got home, he was telling me, I'm so proud of you. Because literally, when I put my mind to something or I want to better myself, he always tell me, you know what I'm saying, just the effort that I put in, the things that I do, you know, somebody telling you that they see the greatness in you, even when you already saw it in yourself, but for them to see it and see your plan and your vision, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
nothing
Even
like that feeling. That's why when these hoes be out here talking about a cheating in a relationship and we was dating, like, how many dates did y'all go on? Did y'all sit up all night talking? What's his favorite color? What's his favorite food? Where's his moles? Where are the moles on his body?
right. What's his vices? What's
What
his
can that
advantages?
be
What's his
all?
pros? What's his cons? And you got to do this vice versa too. It's not just what, you know what I'm saying, we seek for and strive for in our black men.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the other way around too. Because one thing for sure and two things for fucking certain, a man is not going to marry you unless they know that you can hold that down. Not everybody can be their child's mother. Not everybody can be their confidant. Not everybody can be their support. Not everybody can be their backbone.
And sometimes they don't even listen. In this community this world that we living in today, we gotta understand that it's not just us black women that gotta deal with it. The black men gotta deal with it too. But the difference between us and the black men is that as soon as they start complaining or as soon as they show any type of sensitivity towards anything, they get shot the fuck down. Or it's always a hoe out here calling a nigga a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And shooting them down and thinking that's cool. They get shot down enough. Literally.
Right.
Literally.
Right. And that's why I said you got to be able to value yourself. It starts with yourself. For you to love yourself, you got to learn to be alone with yourself. You got to learn to tolerate your fucking self.
Right. You
Okay?
gotta learn how
Because
to play with your pussy.
exactly.
What make you come? What do you like about your coochie?
Right.
God damn. Everybody want to blame everything on everybody else when you don't even know how to make yourself come. But you want this man to do all types of tricks and bends when you don't even know what make you come.
Right.
You don't
And
even
you
love
you know
yourself.
right, exactly. And it's all about self fucking love and self care. You know, not for don't and it's not about doing it for appearances so other people can have this perception that you're fine and that you're okay. It's okay to be vulnerable, but it
Yes,
depends
it
on the
is.
degree in which you are vulnerable. But it gotta start with yourself. And that's
Hold on,
why
let me read some of the comments. So
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Deanna said, "Hey, perspective Pat." Deanna said, "We talk about how far we come and laugh at the past. Denaya says they are failing because of lack of communication. Deanna said, I just quit this morning again. It's a blessing to have that support. 2 weeks worth. Sorry, y'all. No, you good, girl. We having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we saying. Like, and sometimes you gotta see a way out of no way. Sometimes when your man is not feeling right, you gotta be there to pick him up just as well as he gotta be there to pick you up. You know
Right.
how many times I done cried in my husband's arms, and how many times I done been there when he was down too. But just because they show it differently or because we react differently don't mean that they don't have just the same damn emotions as us.
Right. Preach.
And I'm tired of people trying to make that like a, oh, he need to be hard. That's what's wrong with the black community today. Y'all want these men to be so damn hard that they don't say shit. They not even
Right.
at the funerals, bitch.
Right. And then you got to understand everybody's not built to deal with or to handle what some people put upon each other. You got to understand, you got to know your limits and they got to know their limits too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a give and take thing. It's a knowing and not knowing, and then just being fucking complacent with the shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you know shit ain't working out for you and you see more than yourself and you love that nigga and this, that, and the third, give that person, I believe in giving everybody a chance. Give that person enough time to get themselves together. But when you ready to move
And
and that
sometimes
person's not ready to
it
move
takes
with
patience
you,
too, and it does take
right?
time, like you said, because years
Yeah.
ago, I remember arguing back and forth. Now our arguments don't even be arguments for real no more. It'd be like, oh, I was about to get mad, but we catch it before we even get up get upset most of the time now. Or we'll wait 5 or 10 minutes and be like, I apologize. I was, I got in my ego right quick. I was about to curse you out. And then he'd be like, I understand. Like, we don't even like, that's the good thing about it. Because once you really find somebody that's really willing to be with you, that's when all the good stuff really come out, because you don't want to argue the same way you used to argue 1 year in, 2 years in. You see the change and you see the difference. Even the affection is different. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna talk another bit and let him be exactly, Deanna. That's all that's out here on Cali. Exactly.
Right. And the thing about it, like, people clown people and this, that, and the third, and this and that situation. Like that whole, I'm a,
Sorry, man. Baby,
oh
you
no,
gotta be
you good.
careful like me. Talking about that yin and that yang.
Yeah.
So
And what you no, I was going to bring up the Tommy Sotomayor thing, as far as the whole situation between him and all them cankles. Um
ankle, ankle, ankle.
like, yeah, like her rebuttal was weak as hell, because only thing she could say, oh well, he tasted the twat though, but like, bitch, is that all you is?
Her rebuttals have always been weak, madam. That's why she doxed me, because she cannot take my mouth.
Right. But the thing about that though, and that's a perfect example right there of what you will allow to be done to you and what you won't allow to be done to you. Now, case in point, all of them cankles was sitting on there, and Tommy Sotomayor was calling her all the bitches in the world,
And what she
all the
say?
bitches
Let me call in. Put me in the chat. Put me in the
in
chat. Nigga,
all the
like
bitches
Deanna
in the
say.
world,
Nigga.
because her
Nigga.
twat is dirty. Man, her fucking twat probably looked like a used microwave bag. But
Bruh.
anyway, um,
Spoil you chitlins.
he allowed her,
Dumpling
she
juice.
allowed him to call her out her name. And to be honest with you, I'm not doing that much motherfucking hooping and hollering over a nigga that I've been fucking with for a week.
Child.
A week.
Girl, a week, I don't even know you. I wouldn't even claim that.
Like, like,
They'd be like, yeah, I dated you. I'd be like, who is you? I don't know
right.
you.
And then I mean that just goes to show you like, yo, you came on too hot and heavy. But I know some females that's like that. They will start fucking with a person and come on to them hot and heavy for what?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Glib. Read Glib. Put Glib's comment up here. I find it odd
I
that a woman would say that if she thinks as highly of herself as she acts, a woman would claim
right.
to reveal that, in my opinion. But see, what you got to notice is when a woman is trying
Right.
to prove something, she's trying to prove it to herself. She's projecting. And I always say that about
Mm,
over there. She always projects. She wants to speak it into existence, but it's not happening because she's broken. She's not working on herself. She's emotionally unstable. She's a stalker. She has nothing going for herself. And then she's probably killing herself by the fumes, by the dust, or the blinds that been there since they built the building. You know what I'm saying? So you can't want to be a better woman and say you're a coming woman, but be trash. It don't work.
right. How could you expect to be a better woman when you running around on fucking social media platforms calling yourself the banana slayer, the banana slayer? Like, bitch, you give nobody that's looking for anything meaningful nothing to look forward to. Like real talk, like that's like you walking in the store and you wanna get you a new pair of shoes, but you see that the shoes got a bad score as far as like, will people recommend them and this, that, and the third, and you fuck around and get the shoes anyway, and then coming to find out you don't even like the motherfucking shoes, but you can't return them bitches. That was a metaphor like a motherfucker.
Girl, the
But
banana
yeah,
built in
but yeah,
the flesh.
but yeah, bro, like you allow people do what they do to you because you allow them to do what they do to you. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't be alone. Some people don't want to be alone. Some people choose to surround themselves in groups to make themselves feel better or feel whole about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Chupacabra, the banana flavor is Kanky Ankle.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to wrap this up because it's 5:56. And my show, the interview with Sean Bradley's butthole is about to come up. So head over to my channel, click my link if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and meet us over there. I appreciate you guys. Give Madam a thumbs up. Sub to her channel and please support other content creators. Let's help them get their last time hours and we can uplift each other for free.
Right. Facts.
All
And thank you
right,
so much for joining the show.
come on over so you can interview with Sean Bradley's booty hole.
All right, you guys. We'll see you in a few over on God's channel.
Bye.